There's a fly in the honey, and the napkins are dirty. Breakfast is supposed to be served at 8 o'clock. It's 1:30.
It's on its way.
Meta arrives late and leaves early every day. It's time you said something.
She's just had a baby.
Is that my fault?
She doesn't own a watch.
You never saw anyone do a thing more slowly. She does it on purpose, to show us. You see the way she moves, her head held like a queen. You ask her to hurry, she looks you right in the eye and goes even slower. No one wants to work in this country. It's a dirty word.
My mother always carried a fan. It was like an extra limb, like a bird, tethered, trying to fly.
And how is my little tearaway this morning?
She can't afford to keep the children she's got. Lord knows what she wants another one for. If you don't say something to her, I will. Look at her, eating like an animal. Spit it out.
I can't. I ate it.
You see? You see now what happens? Letting her run wild, letting her play with whoever she likes. There'll be no mangoes at the breakfast table. There'll be no mangoes in the kitchen. There'll be no mangoes in the house. Do you understand?
What happened when they dropped from the tree?
They rot. And if you're late again, you'll lose your job. You may go.
They lay littering the ground like tiny globes of corpses buzzing with flies. From that day, we ate hot porridge every morning. Every morning in the sticky heat, we ate porridge. It wasn't as strange as it sounded. Everything we owned was from England. Our clothes, our food, our newspapers.
Ooh, Grace has got another Cedric Gloucestershire.
And of course, my favourite book.
Come out of the shadows, Miss Eyre. I cannot see you. Where did you come from?
A girls' school.
You were a pupil.
And then a teacher. 2 years.
Parents?
Dead, sir.
Brothers and sisters?
I have none.
I thought not. Who recommended you to come here?
I advertised, Miss Rochester. It was the only reply.
I am disposed to be gregarious tonight, Miss Eyre. Talk to me.
About what, sir?
Whatever you like. I leave the choice of subject entirely to yourself. You are silent. You think me insolent. You think I have no right to command you in such a way. I read as much in your eye, Miss Eyre. Beware what you express with that organ. I am a master at reading its language. I am old enough to be your father. I have roamed half the globe and seen much of life. Does this not allow me to be a little commanding, a little masterful once in a while?
You may do as you please.
That is no answer.
I do not think, sir, you have the right to command me merely because you are older than I, or because you have seen more of the world. Your claim to superiority depends on the use you have made of your experience. I, however, am paid to receive your orders.
I see you are fascinated by the pattern in my carpet. My questions are a trial to you. Tomorrow evening, you'll not escape so easily. Good night.
I was once again in the chilly darkness of the great hall. As I climbed the stairs, my thoughts were broken by an unexpected sound. It was a curious laugh, distinct, formal, mirthless. I stopped. The sound ceased for an instant and then began again louder, a clamorous peal that seemed to echo in every chamber, though it originated but in one.
What England like?
They are ladies and gentlemen. They wear beautiful clothes and ride in carriages with velvet seats and footmen. They live in houses so big you can get lost for hours. In the winter, it's freezing cold. Ice falls from the sky, but it's soft, like petals. It covers everything up. There's a picture on our biscuit tin. Everything white and clean. One day, I'll go to England to be a lady. I'm learning to do embroidery and play the piano.
Close the shutters, I've got a headache.
What's carnival for?
A lot of noise and nonsense.
It's an ancient fertility rite.
An excuse to get drunk and run riot for 3 days.
What's fertility,
I
right?
told you to close the shutters, not stand and stare.
But it's Titi. Come and look. She's covered in feathers and white paint. She's dancing. Titi! Titi!
What did I say?
Leave her, she's doing no harm.
No harm. Do you want the whole town to know that she was standing and staring, watching them do those obscene? As if things aren't bad enough, without giving them another excuse to laugh behind our backs.
You imagine things.
You don't know them like I do. I grew up here. To you, it's all a novelty. They're so happy, you say, so friendly. Do you think they're smiling at you when they walk down the street? They're sniggering, sneering. The cranky English doctor who no one pays because he believes every story in the book.
I want to go out. I want to dance.
Now look. She thinks you can do whatever she likes and you encouraging her.
I said it was harmless.
Harmless. Do you know what they say about us?
I don't know, and I don't care.
The house is falling down around their ears. Their crazy daughter who runs down the street dressed like a nigger.
She is a child.
She's 13 years
A
old.
child!
It's all very well for you. You're a man. You can do as you please. But a woman must learn to fit in, to do as she's told. Who do you think will want her? Who do you think will want to marry her? She doesn't learn how to behave herself. Who do you think will love you?
I don't know. Who will love me? Who will marry me?
This heat. It's enough to drive anyone insane.
Who will love me? Who will marry me?
When you're a child, you are yourself, and you know and you see everything. And then suddenly something happens and you stop being yourself. You become what others want you to be.
Who will love me? Who will marry me?
When it was finished, it was framed. It hung at the top of the stairs. I walked past it every day. It wasn't a flower or the alphabet or a poem. It's a butterfly.
It's got wings the color of fire, like a sunset, like when the light shines on the sea.
Let me look.
All the way here, its wings are beating on the leaves.
Open it.
I'm going to keep it. Let it out when nobody's there. Let it fly at night in the garden when... Oh. It's broken.
You can't catch butterfly. Finger catch sunlight, put it in a bottle.
I thought...
You think too much. Don't do you no good.
I'm standing by the river looking at the stepping stones. The round and steady stone. The pointed. The safe one in the middle where you stand and you look around. The next one wasn't so safe. When the river was dry, the water flowed over it. But even when it was dry, it showed slippery. Where are you going? It's the middle of the night.
I can hear a strange sound. Like an animal, like our dog before it died.
It wasn't until I'm in the room that I realised it's my mother.
At first I think they are doors closed. That they are for us. For my sister and me. And then I know all of a sudden without doubt that
There was a baby. A baby who died before I was born. And that baby is buried underneath the stone beneath the mango tree. And I know that I was meant to make it better, but I never did. And that is why our garden is haunted.
What are you doing?
I wanted a drink of water.
The kitchen.
Yes,
In the kitchen.
I'm sorry.
I go to bed but I can't sleep. I wish I were dead. Perhaps if I was dead, my mother would cry for me. Whenever I can't sleep, I do the same thing.
Is that Jane Eyre? Have you plotted to drown me?
No, sir. But someone has tried to burn you alive. Your sheets were on fire, and a moment later you...
Tell me quickly, what did you see?
I awoke to a strange sound. I called out and no one answered until
Speak out, Jane, I am listening.
it was like a laugh, but low, deep, at the very keyhole of my chamber. I opened the door with a trembling hand, and then I saw a candle dropped and burning.
You saw no one?
I heard footsteps on the stairs to the attic.
You are no talking fool, Jane. Do not speak of tonight's incident. I'll count for it in the morning. Go back to your room.
But who started the fire?
Have no fear, I can take care of myself.
Good night, then, sir.
What? Are you quitting me already?
You said I might go.
At least shake hands. I knew you'd come good in some way. I saw it in your eyes when I first beheld you. Their expression did not strike delight into my very inmost heart for nothing.
I'm glad that I happened to be awake.
Will you go?
I'm cold, sir.
Cold? Yes. And standing in a puddle. Go then, Jane, go.
Of course it's beautiful here, but impossible. It's the heat and the humidity. We have to change our clothes several times a day. Fabric rots, furniture falls apart, nothing here lasts. Everything decays as quickly as it grows. The road they built has almost returned to forest. Sugar.
Thank you.
I grew up on the plantation, but by then it was all over. The fires had destroyed half the house. We were lucky with the rains, or they would have seen us destroyed with it. After emancipation, things got bad. My grandfather did everything he could, but they wanted to see us destroyed. Sugar prices were falling by the day. England wasn't interested. Increased labour costs and falling profits, who in the right mind would want to invest? And who wants a country with hurricanes and volcanoes and Lord knows what up its sleeve?
As my mother talked, I watched a gentleman. He had pale green eyes. I'd never seen anyone so beautiful.
My husband, on the other hand, finds it all very charming and wouldn't care if the roof caved in, which it probably will soon if nothing's done to stop it. Excuse me, I ordered cream tea for 4 o'clock.
I knew without looking up that he was watching me. I tried to sew gracefully, but my fingers slid down the needle. I felt sick and hot and suddenly afraid.
So, you're the young lady who loses her clothes.
And it was stolen.
So I see.
But don't tell mother.
Not a word. Do you know, you have beautiful eyes.
That was it. That was the moment. From that day I knew I would never be alone, I would always be watched, I must always strive to be beautiful. That was when I realised my body was not for swimming in rivers, or running through grass, or climbing trees. It was my only means of survival. That evening I spent hours watching myself in the mirror, hypnotised.
You know, you have beautiful eyes.
It was as if I'd never seen myself before.
It's almost midnight. What are you doing with the lamp still on?
I was
Yes?
reading. Standing, sir, at the end of my bed in the darkness, scarcely further than you are from me now, she had
thick, black hair hanging long down her back. I watched as she took my wedding veil from its box, held it up, gazed at it long, and then threw it over her head and turned to the mirror. Sir, I never saw a face like it. It was a discoloured face, a savage face. The lips were swelled and dark, her eyes hunted. I saw her then take the wedding veil from her head and rent it in 2 parts, flinging both to the floor. Now, sir, before we go to the church, tell me who and what that woman was.
He answered me without hesitation. A creature of an overstimulated brain. I must be careful of you, my treasure. Nerves like yours are not made for rough handling. What happened next? They go to the church, but in the middle of the wedding, a man shouts for it to stop. It turns out Mr. Rochester is married already.